What's up, YouTube? I'm Mr. No Name, or Max as people know me in the real world, and today I'm going to be talking about, in just about 45 seconds, about the best gaming equipment for end of 2013 / the beginning of 2014. But first of all, I just want to talk a little bit about this gameplay real quick. So it is a 3v3 competitive MLG variant S&D match, and this is the third map in it. In a best of 3 series, of course, and these first 2 rounds are really good, so pay attention to those. I may be cutting out a couple rounds. It just depends on how long this commentary goes. I don't really know yet, so if you see a round skip, that's what happened. So into the thing that I'm talking about today, which is the best gaming equipment. First of all, I need to talk about the order of importance, and this would be the console, then the monitor, then the headset, then the controller, and then accessories. And this is all for console gamers. I don't know enough about PC to really help you guys out that much, but some of it can be applied to PC, but this is mainly for console gamers, just so you guys know before we get too far into it. So, going into it, the console. So, new consoles are out, Xbox One and PS4, and if you are a competitive player, you need the Xbox One, because that is what everything is going to be played on. It's going to be $500, and then the PS4 for non-competitive players or whatever, it is $400. And honestly, the PS4 is probably a better console. I like Sony more than Microsoft, because Microsoft seems like evil, greedy people all the time, especially at the release of Xbox One, or initially when they first unveiled it to the public. There were a whole bunch of strings attached. It was really awful, but anyway, if you're competitive, you need the Xbox One. That's bottom line. So yeah, that's enough on the consoles. Really, you guys know a lot about the console. I don't want to spend too much time on it. So moving on to the monitor, and this is something that is a little bit tricky. You know, people don't really know what to look for in a monitor sometimes. It took me a while to figure it out. Basically, the safest way to go would be with the BenQ brand, and they are very good with their monitors. They have ones for PC gamers, for console gamers, and the one that I recommend, which is the one that I have, is the GL2450HM, and it's the MLG tournament monitor that they're using, and it's $190. And just so you guys know, all of these products that I'm talking about, their links to their websites and everything will be in the description below if you want to go check them out. And also, I'm only sponsored by one of these companies, and when I get to it, I'll tell you so that you know that I'm a little bit biased towards you, because I don't want to mislead anybody. So yeah, this monitor from BenQ is the one that I recommend. It's got a 2 millisecond response time. It's in 1080 HD. It's 24 inches wide, and it has a black finish. The sound quality straight off the monitor is fairly good. I'm used to a headset quality though, so it's not something I really like as much. The contrast is very good. The colors pop out. It seems like they have like an anti-glare thing on there, because I have a window behind me, and it reduces the glare like completely. So it's really good. And yeah, I mean, BenQ, their monitors have been really good. They've been at the tournaments for a while, so I feel like you can trust them quite a bit. And basically, if you don't want to go with BenQ, just make sure that it's around 24 inches, it's in at least 1080p, or HD, I'm sorry, and it has a 2 millisecond or less delay. You don't want 5 millisecond, which is like the next one, I believe. It just starts to get too slow, really. And, you know, if you're a PC gamer, some of these can get up in like the $500 range, but the console ones stay around $200, it seems like. So, yeah, moving on to the headset. And there's a lot of headset companies as well, so some people get confused on this when they first get into it. But basically, the best headset company right now is Astro Gaming. Some people would disagree with me on this, but in my opinion, Astro is the best. They have a fairly good reputation, I would say. You know, some other companies would be Turtle Beach and SteelSeries, and these are both good companies. I haven't had a SteelSeries headset yet, but I've known people who have had them, and they've had nothing but good praise for them as well, so they're worth checking into. Turtle Beach tend to go for the more just getting into the headset thing. They do have some higher end ones, but still they're just not as good. They're cheap. They tend to break fairly easily. Mine broke within the first year, It wasn't that great. But, you know, I mean, if you're just getting into it, you could. But honestly, I would go for the high-end ones at the beginning so that they last. So from Astro Gaming, they offer PS4, 360, PS3, and PC headsets. And they will be compatible with Xbox One soon. And I'm sure that they will have Xbox One exclusive ones as well. So if you've got Xbox 360 ones right now, there will be an adapter that will be coming out soon. They have mentioned that. So don't worry too much about that. So the best headset for console gaming right now, I would say, would be the A40s. And the headset without the mix amp is $150. With the mix amp, it's $250. And it's got, you know, 7.1 surround sound. It's really comfortable. It's adjustable. You can balance out the game volume versus the chat volume and everything. If you play Call of Duty like I do, the explosions sound absolutely amazing. You can hear people all the way across the map. It's really, really cool. There are a lot of wires because it is a wired headset along with the mix amp, so it can get tangled easily, but it's what's needed for tournament level players. If you aren't going to be doing competitive, you might want to consider a wireless one, but I still don't think the A50s are as good. The A50s are wireless, but I don't think they're as good as the A40s. I've heard a lot of bad reviews on them compared to the A40s, so just kind of keep that in mind. Take it with a grain of salt. On to the controllers, and I'm going to start... There's two companies that I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to start with the one that most people know about, and they're not the ones I'm sponsored with. The other one is. But starting off, we've got SCUF controllers, and these are what people are used to. You know, controllers, a lot of people are like, okay, I'm just going to use the one I come with, that comes with the Xbox. That's great, fine, wonderful, but at a certain point, you've got to move on to a better one. These SCUF controllers, what they offer is they have paddles and trigger stops, and that's the main thing to them. And what this allows you to do is it lets you not take your thumb off the analog stick to press buttons. Those buttons that are there, or at least 2 of them, depending on which one. If you have the SCUF hybrid, you can have up to 4, and then you don't have to press any of those buttons. But you can press the paddles on the bottom instead with your middle finger or your third finger. I don't even know what that's called. I think that's your ring finger. I don't know my fingers. That's kind of scary. But anyway, you can use some of those, and yeah, that's the main thing with the SCUF as far as the paddles. And then the trigger stops, what that allows you to do is to not have to press the trigger in as far to activate it, and you can also, I believe, adjust the sensitivity of the triggers as well. And this basically makes you seem like you have faster reaction time and more control. Any semi-automatic weapon fire will be a lot quicker, so you know it's important to have. And the cheapest controller from them that I've seen, which is the one I have, is $79.95. But that is without shipping, and it is without any extra things on it. You know, with SCUF, when you go in and you start changing things like a dome stick or a non-dome stick or which things you want to program, it starts to kind of add on the prices and everything. And then you can have a grip, and it adds more money and everything, and it's like, $79, it's looking more like $130 now. But you know, they're really good controllers. They are kind of worth it, and they're legal with pretty much every tournament. I mean, I know they're legal in MLG, at least. I'm pretty sure EGL. I mean, they're known throughout everywhere. Everybody has them. So yeah, that's the main company that everybody knows about. The next company, which is what I'm on a trial sponsorship for right now, I'm looking like it's going to be a permanent sponsorship, and it's not me individually, it's the team. And basically, the company is Shark Controllers, and it's spelled with a Q. And I apologize, in my previous videos, I was calling these Shark Q controllers. I didn't know that they were actually Shark. It makes sense now, but you know, I'm an idiot. Whatever. But they are basically they're based in the UK, and overall they're cheaper than SCUFs generally, and they look cooler, to be honest. Especially if you're in Europe, they are cheaper for sure as far as the shipping and everything. The biggest problem with them is that they're not necessarily legal in all the tournaments yet. They're working on that. They're a fairly new company. They've got, I believe, 1 tournament series under their belt right now that is legal in, and it's not MLG or EGL. It's one that I don't really know about. I don't keep up with. But they're working on it, and they're not too different from the SCUFs, so they should be legal fairly soon in all of these bigger tournament series. Basically, instead of paddles, they have shark fins looking things, and they're technically still paddles. They do the same job as the paddles with the scuffs, and they have the trigger stops, and they have the adjustability in the level of sensitivity within the triggers. And that's what they do, and the designs on them to me just seem kind of cooler. With scuffs, some of them do look pretty cool, but overall the Shark Q ones I think are better. And Shark Q has Xbox One controllers already. As a matter of fact, they've already had them for a week or two, if I remember correctly. So they got on the ball with that faster than Scuff. I appreciate that from them, which is really cool. I personally do not own a Shark controller, and I might have just said Shark Q again a minute ago. I'm sorry if I do. I'm so used to saying it, but it's Shark controllers. Anyway, the thing you need to know about these controllers now is the prices. So, for the Xbox One, it's going to be 99 euros. For the Xbox 360 controllers, it's going to be 56 euros. For the shipping inside of the UK, it's going to be 4.99 euros. And for world shipping, it's going to be 14.99 euros. And you can get a discount on this, actually. If you if when you order, you use the promo code FLIGHT, you will get 5% off of your order, and that helps you. And you may wonder what it gives us. Basically, it helps us to get a permanent sponsorship with them. I believe our trial sponsorship ends on the 20th of December here, and if we get a certain number of sales and a certain number of followers on Twitter and everything, yada yada yada, then we can get the sponsorship, and that's what it'll do for us. And then we can do giveaways, we'll get things at a discount and be able to just help you guys out, and maybe even afford to go to some LAN events and whatnot. So that's the whole point of that. So, moving on from the controllers now, we get into the accessories. And honestly, there's really only one accessory that you really need, and that's the control freaks. None of the others are really that important, in my opinion. And these control freaks, they range from $10 to $15, so they're pretty cheap. And what they are analog stick extensions. And they have different grips on them, and you can get them domed or concave, whatever you like. They got different colors and everything. They're really nice. And I personally have used 4 or 5 different ones in my time of using them, and only one of them has been bad necessarily. Like, it was good, but it wasn't as well made as the others. It kept breaking, and those were the CQCs. I bought like 3 sets of those, and they've broken every time within a couple months. So I don't recommend those, but all the others have lasted for a really, really long time, like at least 6 to 8 months, and it's only $10 to $15. So I mean, they're really good, and they do help. And basically, they are meant to help improve your aim and accuracy and everything. And the longer extensions are generally for assault rifle players, and the shorter ones are meant for more submachine gun players. And they also have ones that aren't for FPS games. They're designed for like racing games and whatnot, and they have all sorts of weird little things on them. I don't know everything. I just keep up with the FPS ones. So yeah, that's all you really need to know about the control freaks. So as you guys can see, we're coming to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, then please like, comment, and or subscribe. If you didn't, then let me know what I can do better in the comment section below. Constructive criticism goes a long way, guys. Until next time, everybody, peace out.
Bomb defused.